Hello and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. And it has been a while since I did a video, but I came out here early and tried to beat the rain so that I could do a quick video of my front yard transformation or redecorating, whatever you want to call it. So the last video, I kind of gave you an overview of what I was going to do, and if you have not watched that, you may want to watch that one first, and I will try to insert video right here of the house before. It's just a plain old ranch house in a suburban, semi-rural area. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Zone 6A, which is southwestern Michigan. So yeah, and people don't really do landscaping around here. They just kind of cut the grass. It's a working class neighborhood. That's So basically, we have our little rectangular lots, and most people have fences in the back, privacy fences, and we cut the lawn, and that's pretty much it. Well, I decided that I wanted to have some pretty flowers up front, and the big impetus for that really was COVID. COVID has affected everything. I started working from home more when COVID came, and then eventually I got a position that's completely working from home. So I work from home full time, and my office is right in front. The window faces out front of the house, and so I'm sitting there on my computer every day looking out the window, and I just kind of got tired of seeing sad looking grass in the neighbor's house. So I wanted to put something peaceful and beautiful, and for me that is flowers and plants. So that's what I did. All right, it's cold. It's the last weekend in April, and it looks like it's getting ready to rain. Hopefully I can get a dry day in here, or a dry block of hours, because I got a lot of stuff to do. I have not even really started on my backyard garden, which is where I grow all of my vegetables, my food, and which is where I'm planting my cut flower garden. So I got to get going on that. But I'm out here early. I think it's about 8:30, and I wanted to do this before it got noisy out here, because then the video would be difficult. All right, so let me turn the camera around. Ta-da! Wait, here's a bit further back. I got my flag. I need a new flag. That one is getting a small hole in it from the wind whipping. All right, so my goal with this was to frame the house, or at least on this left side here, so I didn't have to look at the neighbors so much, and to give it like a courtyard look. I want it to be like a peaceful private courtyard where you can walk in through that arch and you can sit if you want to sit, whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm on the way to. So I put in my little arch and the little fence sections here. Now it may look like it's just sitting there, but keep in mind all around the perimeter are trees. So you see all those little white tubes? Those are trees, small bare root ones that will get bigger. I have up here almond trees, chestnuts. There's a couple of persimmon. There's apple. There's pear. There's peach. There may be nectarine. I don't know. There's a bunch of trees up here. There's about 16 trees up here, I believe, in terms of fruit and nuts. And then I have the little shrubs and all that stuff that I planted as well. But around the perimeter is all trees. This is those first 8 over here in this line by this tree were the first 8 that I planted up front, which was last spring. And those actually have buds and flowers on them already. They're all going to be dwarf, right? So they're all going to be kept fairly small, because I do live in a subdivision, and my whole lot is a little under half an acre, and that includes the house. So they're dwarf trees, which means I will keep them at a height where I can easily manage them up between 6 and 8 feet, probably 6 feet, more like 6 feet, by pruning religiously. All right, so let me move forward here. So the trees around the perimeter, there are trees in front of those fence sections. Let me zoom out as well. I have a number of little pots sitting around that I plan to plant annuals in. It's still cold here. Our last frost date isn't until between May 1st and May 15th, so I got a week or so. It still gets really cold at night, and it's cold now. So I haven't planted them yet. But let's start over here. There's a little crescent, half a crescent, I don't know what you want to call it, slice of pie bed that I made here. And in these beds that I've created, there are already a lot of bare root plants. You just can't see them. The bare roots are tiny and they're brown. They look like little twigs, but they're actually gaining leaves, and now it's starting to rain. So let me see if I can do this really quickly. So there are several plants in there already, and there are more coming each week. So you got my little wind spinner type thing. I put a solar little lantern here that's just on, one of those shepherd's hooks. It's battery operated. It's nice. It gives a little glow if you want to turn it on. It's indoor, outdoor. I got a little bird bath here, and it has a little solar fountain in it, which is cute. It didn't necessarily need it, but I don't like standing water just sitting. It makes me think of mosquitoes and all that stuff. So I wanted the water to move. So that little thing just shoots up a little spout, and it floats around in there. And it's not level right now. I may have to put another stone under there, but basically it's just there to break up this line at least until the trees get big enough. And you can see here how tiny the trees are, but they're all alive so far, so that's good. Let's see, let's go this way. And that opening is big enough for my lawnmower to get through. Also, the grass looks, do you see patchiness? That's dead grass that's laying on top. I aerated the lawn and put down grass seed, so I just left that because they usually want you to put straw on it, and I was like, well, this is kind of like straw, all this dead grass. So I just left that on top to try to protect the seeds from the birds, because I have resident birds now that I've planted all this stuff. They just like live here. This is another bed that's kind of like a kidney bean or something that I made. And this is the main bed, which the goal is to make all this up here mostly perennials and then add a few annuals in. So I got a number of little shrubs and bare root things planted already. Let me go around this way. I got a couple of obelisks, and I think I got these from QVC. They're very heavy, very sturdy ones. I have some sweet peas planted in the first one that are just starting to sprout. Let me see if I can zoom in on those. Oh, as much as I can. Yeah, those are sweet peas. And I don't know what I'm going to put in the other one. I really was just putting up the structural stuff because it was really too cold to plant many plants. And I did all of this in the last month, really, once the ground was good enough to work, soft enough to work. But you can see here, for example, let's see if I can zoom in. That is one of the fruit trees, and it has its buds. Some of them already actually have flowers. So that's where we are with that. I got a little bench and a little table here, a little seating area. Shrubs. I've really gotten into topiaries. That's one of my favorite plants now. And so I have these little boxwoods that I picked up cheap, like 10 bucks from the local home store, big box store. And some of them I've put in pots. Some of them are in the ground, like over here. These are in the ground. I'm not going to go over every plant because that would take too long. I just kind of wanted to go over the main stuff. But anyway, this is a long bed. In the middle of this bed is a fountain, and the fountain is turned towards the window because that window is where my office is, and so I can look out here and see it. I can open the window and hear it. This little corner, oh, here's a good one. A tree that's one of the trees that's trying to get a branch. As you can see, it has see if I can get a flower for you. It has flowered. I think this is a peach tree. Maybe I'm too close. I believe this is a peach tree, but as you can see, it has flowers. I'm very excited because after flowers come fruit. All right, so over here is my little topiary corner, I guess you could say. But right now it's a work in progress. I got that 3-ball topiary from a big box store. I believe it was Lowe's recently. I'm not good enough to create one on my own, so I buy the fancy ones, or I have 2. I don't have many because they're pricey. But some more little shrubs, boxwood and arborvitae, and then all these pots I plan to put annuals in. I got my little gnome situation. Let's see if I can get up here without falling. My little gnome situation over here. My little gnome situation over here. I collect garden gnomes. I just think they're cute and quirky. And there's a little fairy village down there. Why? I don't know. It was cheap. It was on clearance. I put up these window boxes, which I really like. Those were a pain to put up because it was hard to find the studs. They weren't evenly under both windows. They were like in different spots on each window, which to me was really bizarre. But anyway, that was a struggle getting those up. They were easy to install. It really is just 3 brackets and then the box just kind of snaps into it. So the boxes themselves were not the problem. The problem was trying to find the studs. So at some point I may paint the boards, the backer boards I put behind there, but I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna mess with it anymore. I was just, that one was frustrating, that project. But in there are some cooler weather flowers. I just discovered these ranunculus, and you see this? I love this flower, this ranunculus. This is one of my new favorite flowers, and so I'm going to try to grow some of those this season. I have some tubers or corms or bulbs, however you want to call it, for them. So I plan to do that. But the black shutters were already here. The house is white. I'm not changing the siding, so I tried to figure out what trim I wanted that would go with everything, and I settled on black since the black shutters were already here, and it gives it a pop. The window boxes are black. Let's see, I changed out the screen door and put a single pane screen door that is black. The old one was white and it was a split pane, which I really like because it like frames the door. I painted the door this cherry green, as I told you all I was gonna paint it green. But this is exactly what I was going for. It's bright, it's happy. You look at that door and how can you not, you know, be cheerful or smile, because to me it just sings joy. And so I got my various little pots up here, and I have yet to fill them because, like I said, it's still cold and it's raining. I got this great chair from QVC, I believe. This chair is so comfortable. It's a wicker, it's lightweight. Of course, I'll take it in my shed in the winter, but that is a great little spot. And of course, I got, you know, a little lantern, a little ceramic table thing that I have there. And then my planter, which is, by the way, full of carrots. You see them sticking up there, so still cool. So cool weather things. My carrots are growing. I have another topiary here. This one is a spiral that I got from, I think, Home Depot. I put up new light fixtures. All the lights were gold, like 80s gold. This house was built in the early 90s. So everything was gold, the fixtures and knobs. So I changed out all the fixtures to black. I also changed the door hardware, which I don't think you can see, but it's black. It's like a mission style or something. On the porch, I got my two, let me see if I can get it here. My two ball fake topiary that's hanging just for decoration. And of course I have my old fountain sitting here, which is on its last leg. It wasn't very well made, even though it was expensive. We changed these fixtures, and these are LEDs that are of course automatic, so dusk to dawn. Changed the numbers out and put black instead of all that gold. I have big pots here right now. These have some amaryllis, garden amaryllis bulbs in there. And then I am going to, of course, take those out when it gets cold because they can't stay outside, and bring them, pot them up or store them or something. And then I am doing some asparagus in there. I'm going to try to just do little asparagus pots in there and see how that goes. So that's my plan with that. And then landscape wise, like I said, I just aerated and planted some grass seeds, so I'm just trying to get this patch to be green and lush because it'll make the flowers look better. I have a row of rose bushes here that I've just planted, and there's a second row that's coming. I think there should be coming this week, so there will be 8 rose bushes here in 2 rows, and eventually I'll remove the strip of grass around them. Let me try to zoom in on one because they are budding up too, and they were just bare roots, so it was just those little sticks, no green, no growth, nothing. But they've already in a couple of weeks taken root. So this is has been my main bulb bed here, and I wanted to get out here before the daffodils and tulips are done. They're so pretty. The daffodils are in full swing. The tulips, they look closed, but the ones that are colored up, they open during the day and they kind of close at night or when it gets cold. But and there are more down there, a whole big clump of them. Plus there's some other bulbs in here. The crocuses are done. They were right here in the front. They're done for the season. I put in a couple of roseberries and a boxwood in the middle just to add some different texture or interest, and this is ultimately going to be a moon garden is what I decided. So my understanding of a moon garden is they're all plants that reflect the moonlight, so they would be white or maybe silver, a metallic kind of look, and green. So these bulbs have to go. And the problem I'm having here is with tulips as well. I love tulips. That's one of my top 5 flowers as well. The daffodils come back fine. I'm going to pull those up and move them somewhere, probably over to that kidney bean shaped bed. But my tulips, I am telling you, I have planted at least 200, maybe 300 bulbs in this little strip. This is not a big strip. And this is all that came up. So this is the same daffodils I had last year. The bulbs, I had some, and then I planted, like I said, about 200 different bulbs here in this section this past fall, and this is all I got. So me and tulips, I don't know. I know that a lot of gardeners use them as annuals. They do not keep tulips around, particularly in warmer climates, but even in cooler climates, some people just treat them like annuals because they're not super expensive. And I think that maybe what I'm going to start to do, I have to move all of these because I do want this ultimately to be a moon garden, so it needs to be white flowers. So I'm going to pull all these up, and I hate to throw them out, so I probably will transplant those to the kidney area all in one little area. And then what I have decided I'm going to start doing is pots of my tulips, because the other issue is when these things die back, or when the bloom fades, you have to leave it there for a while, like 2 months, to have it store up energy for the next season if you're not pulling them out. And that's an eyesore. And I want to have a bunch of perennials here, and the flowers are like pops of color or pops of flowers, and so this is a problem, leaving all that there. So that is another reason why I'll be treating them probably as annuals. And my thought is I will line this side of my driveway that comes around this big curve all the way down with pots, big pots that I'm going to sit along the edge at a certain distance from each other, and I'm just going to pack them all with tulips. I think that would be such an amazing show in the spring. It would just have an impact, and I'm talking like a dozen big 24-inch pots. And then I will then treat tulips as annuals and buy new ones every year. I've already ordered the tulips, actually, 500 bulbs coming. So those will be coming in the fall. You have to order your stuff you want to get in the fall and the spring. That's how it works. So I got to go in. It's pouring now. It's cold. I am wet, but I just wanted to let you know kind of what I did with the front. And all I have to do at this point, I'm going to be planting more perennials as they come in, and then I do have a bunch of annuals to plant to make it look pretty, but and keep the grass fertilized with my step system and all that. But that's really all I'm planning to do, and watch things grow. once it fills in, if it's 2 or 3 years, it should be beautiful, actually. So I'm very happy with what I did. The only eyesore is these fire bushes. I call them fire bushes. There's 2 of these. There's one over there that stands out less, but they're huge. I couldn't pull them out. The root is just elaborate. That would take men and machines, but I cut them down as far as I could. I don't really like them. Let me go on the porch because my camera's all wet. I'm getting all wet. And I put new path lights, which I really like because they're flat, so they don't get caught on the water hose. I'm trying to water things, so that's kind of nice. Anywho, okay. Let me turn the camera around. Okay. I'm on the porch now. I'm going to go in soon. But what was I talking about? That's pretty much all I'm going to do in the front. And, you know, give it 2 or 3 years for everything to get bigger, full size. And I think it'll be beautiful. I think the lining the one side of the drive with the tulips will be beautiful. Plus, that'll give me a way to keep them contained since I'm going to treat them as annuals. And then in the summer, I'll plant flowers, annuals, in those same pots. That way I can use them for multiple seasons. Yeah, and they're gonna have to be plastic pots because I'm gonna have to take them in the backyard to store them over winter and bring them out. So there's gonna be a lot of carrying them back and forth. But I'm pretty happy with everything except for the production on my bulbs. But they are pretty. They're so pretty, and it's just such a happy sight to look at every day. In the morning when you get up, when it's raining and gray like it is right now, I have my flowers to look at and all my little quirky yard decorations. So that is my tour of the front, what I have done. And keep in mind, I had to do all this by myself. I cannot afford to hire people to build and repair and remodel things for me. So I have to do as much as I can. So I have to keep my projects at my skill level, which is just a homeowner, a regular homeowner. I don't have any specialized construction type skills. So to me, just something like changing out light fixtures or changing the screen door, that was like a big job. So I got all that stuff done. Now I can focus on the backyard. My next tour may be the backyard. I don't know. It may be the backyard. I'm still cleaning up my beds and getting everything situated, getting all the furniture out, all the lawn decorations. It really is a lot. The seasonal changes when you have a garden. You know, just all the little things, because I put most of my little things away, like my little yard art and decorations. Most of those get put in my shed in the winter. So all of that has to be bought out, dusted off, make sure it still works, put it back together. It is a lot of work, but like I said, the front, I'm pretty much done with everything I'm going to do here. So I will see you next time. I don't know when I'll do the next video. Hopefully it'll be a sunny day and not raining and cold. But I'll be back with a tour, probably of the backyard. So until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.